Fiestas Patria's Parade Float Directions. First, it is important to take accurate measurements of the trailer we are working with in order to create a design that is to scale and set out to buy the appropriate amount of materials. When formulating the list of materials, it's important to take into consideration materials that will be sturdy and dependable in order to have a safe parade float. It is important to buy the correct amount of items, as inadequate purchasing will leave you short-handed, and excessive purchasing is out of the question when working on a budget. Now that we have obtained our materials, we can break off into different groups that will specialize in different aspects of the parade float. The artistic component of our team set out to create 32 different black poster boards, each with a different pink cutout representing each of the 32 states of Mexico. Black paint, cardboard, pink butcher paper, duct tape, hot glue, glue guns, and wooden stakes to support the cardboard were necessary pieces for the step. Meanwhile, the building segment of our team headed out to the construction site where they began to make increments into the material that matched the measurements of the trailer. Once these measurements are made, the adults can begin to utilize the electric circular saw to cut the materials. While the builders finish up cutting the materials, the decorative team is hard at work replicating the 32 pink cutouts. These copies will be hot glued onto the outside of a 6 by 7 foot heart-shaped net that will be filled with 100 pink helium balloons the day of the parade to give it the appearance of a three-dimensional visualization of the State of My Heart logo. As the decorative team is doing that, the builders can now begin to nail and screw bolts into the edges of 6 by 6 inch wooden beams in the shape of a Howe truss. Meanwhile, the decorative team is starting their last steps before the teams merge back together. The first of these last steps includes making approximately 400 tissue flowers. Tissue flowers can easily be made by obtaining 3 to 4 sheets of colorful tissue, folding a 1-inch segment, flipping the papers over, and folding another 1-inch segment, and then repeating the process until reaching the other end of the sheets. Then we cut a slit halfway through the middle, tying a pipe cleaner around it. We make creative designs into the sides using scissors, and then open and separate the sheets to give the flower volume. The second of these last steps is creating a large stencil out of the butcher paper in the shape of the logo and placing it on a black velvet canvas where we will paint into the stencil using our pink paint, and repeating the process 2 more times so the logo can be seen on each side of the float and the back. You might also want to consider outlining the logo in glitter to give it that extra pop and shimmer. Both groups can come together to paint both the PVC pipe and the deck of the float in exterior paint and primer. The PVC pipe will serve as a frame for the heart and can be connected using PVC pipe adapters. We can proceed with wrapping the PVC pipe in the plastic decorative vines that will give the float that extra pizzazz. As we approach the day of the parade, it's time to bring all the elements that we have worked on together to bring the float to life. The black velvet banner is wrapped around the trailer, the tissue paper flowers are hot glued onto the deck and onto the PVC pipe, and the marching group rehearses their march with the cardboard cutouts. The next step consists of obtaining a helium tank in order to fill the pink balloons and fitting them into the heart-shaped net. It's important to make sure that the net is safely fastened under the plywood hole onto the foundation of the float. Lastly, it's important to secure the float hitch onto the tow ball, and you can now commence with the parade.